Hello, Cancer. Welcome into Dawn Williams Tarot. This message is for sun, moon, or rising placements in the sign of Cancer. So if you have those placements, this message may be for you. Keep in mind that not all messages may resonate with you, as this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't, as I don't want there to be any miscommunications as to intentions. This message is for money and career for about the next 4 weeks, according to Spirit. So we're going to be taking a look at where you are, what you're looking for in terms of job space or potentially money space, whatever the cards have as a message for you. Okay. If you're brand new to my channel, you've never been here before, welcome. I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to my channel. One of the benefits of subscribing is you will be notified when I drop new content. But the other thing is I'm starting a new offering where I'm going to be doing live readings. And in those live readings, you have the opportunity to post a question in the chat, and I plan to pick up those questions and pull cards. Now, the reason why I am doing this is because, there are people out there that don't really want a full-blown reading. All they really want is some answers to some, a question that they may have as to a current situation or whatever it may be. And so this is an opportunity for me to give you a added benefit of being able to ask a question in a live reading. It gives you an opportunity to see how I work. And then it also gives me the opportunity to help grow my channel as well. I'm hoping that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I'm only going to be going live on YouTube. And in order for you to get those notifications, you need to be subscribed to my channel. Okay, so I'm pulling cards for you today. I typically take myself off camera while I'm reading your tarot cards. At the end, I will pull myself back on camera. I do have additional messages that I'm going to be pulling from these two oracle decks here. This is my career and life path deck, and this is my money and career deck here. So I will be pulling cards from both decks to finalize your reading. And what I've been finding since this is like my 8th reading now of this round, is that they really do tie up the reading, but they also give you a lot of detail in terms of next steps as well. Okay, so I hope you'll listen to the end of the reading. Okay, so I've been shuffling. What do our Cancers need to know about job and career, or career money, or money? From the universe, what is for their best and their highest outcome? What is going to help them align with their higher selves, align with their next path, whatever that may be for them? What does our Cancers need to know at this time, please, Spirit? One of the reasons why I do take myself off view is because I do get messages from Spirit. And when I do, I usually close my eyes. The way the Spirit communicates with me is I am given symbols, or I'm giving scenes, or I'm giving visions of some kind. And then I have to decipher what those are. Typically, when I see a vision, then I kind of describe what it is that I see. So you would see me doing that. And that's my way of communicating with source as well. When I first started opening up psychically, where the floodgates really opened up was after my mom had passed when I was in my 20s. And it felt as though I was getting huge downloads of information, and it was quite overwhelming. So as I started perfecting that, one of the things that I have always done is just close my eyes to get clarity. It is closing off my sight because I'm using my intuition, my third eye sight, instead of my visual eyes sight. So It's just kind of the way that I operate. Okay, Cancer. So your first card is the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups does represent water. It does represent Cancer. So you are showing up in your own reading. Then we have the Hermit. And we have the Knight of Swords, which is taking action. And then we have the Six of Wands. So that's a victory coming in for our Cancers. And then we have the Nine of Swords. So this is about anxiety of some kind, and we'll take a look at that. Let me put my glasses on. So we start off with the Four of Cups. Now, the interesting thing about the Four of Cups is the fours typically always represent looking for stability or looking for balance. And if you look at the guy, right, he's sitting with his arms crossed. He's looking down. He's not even looking at the opportunity coming towards him. Excuse me. He's looking at what he's lost. He's looking at his past. He's looking at what is used up. And his body language is closed off. So right now, it feels on some level, there is a level of rejection happening, or maybe there is some abandonment issues here, or feeling isolated, bored, or apathetic. So Cancer, even though this does represent your energy, I feel as though this is easily remedied, right? The fours have to do with looking for stability or balance, but it can also represent stagnation and boredom, or it can also represent depression, right? He kind of looks a little depressed. But this all has to do with things either aligning or not aligning with your heart. I feel as though this is an opportunity for you to really look at, are you walking the path that you truly want to walk? Are you walking the path that is going to bring you enlightenment and is going to bring you opportunities and success and wisdom and joy? And does it align with your heart space? If that is not the case, then you may want to consider what direction you may want to go in order to be able to create those things for yourself. Now, it could be that this stability and balance that you are looking for in terms of your emotions may be associated with relationships that you are in. But as this is a career and money reading, I would say that this would be more aligned in what is your relationship with self. Are you listening to your inner voice? Are you being guided by that inner voice? And are you taking action, right? These are things for you to consider. Your next step, and these are things for you to consider, because your next step is going within and finding your answers, finding that inner wisdom that we know that you have. The Hermit is definitely a card of isolation. It is a card of withdrawing. Typically, when you see him, he is up on a mountain. He does have this beautiful lantern here, and he has his staff or his wand that he's hanging onto. He's meant to look like an older person, older gentleman, obviously, because he's got a beard. And this is supposed to represent wisdom. So not only is he going within to be able to capture his own wisdom, to be able to capture his own guru kind of energy, but now he's also taking that information that he's gained for himself, and he's looking at, over the mountainside, looking at the little village down below, and he's making decisions as to how he's going to share his highlights, his highest vision with those below. How is he going to introduce those to the people that will come in contact with him? So I feel like some of you may be doing this. Some of you may be feeling as though you want to isolate, that you want to go within, you want to do more meditation, you want to really get some really defined answers for yourself. And this card is also my card of really discerning, right? Being able to really feel within yourself whether or not something is a truth, and being able to use that energy at any time that you come across something that seems to be in conflict with what your belief systems may be. Now, as this has to do with money and with career, this could be one of those situations where you're really assessing those areas for yourself. Where do you currently have your money positioned? Do you have it in the stock market? Do you have it in a 401k? Did you remove all that money? Did you put it into some other type of funding? Are you a Bitcoin person? Are you into crypto? Are you into the gold market? Are you into the silver market? Are you into the metals or those types of things? If you have your money set in a bank, you have a lot of money in the bank, you might want to reconsider that option because, more and more we keep hearing out there that the fiat currency is going down and the other countries on the planet are taking that power away from the US. They are getting rid of the fiat. They're moving away from the fiat. They're creating their own levels of money, their own levels of security, and banking it with either silver, gold, or whatever that country wants to utilize as their backup for their money, right? Because a fiat currency in the US is not backed by anything. So the Federal Reserve can just print money whenever it wants, which is how we got so far into debt. We just kept spending, spending, spending. So you're looking at all of those things. You're assessing. You're looking at your own life. You're looking at the belief systems that you have associated with money. And then you're making decisions as to how you want to move forward. Now, what is in your obstacles position is this Knight of Swords. Now, the Knights have to do with taking action, moving forward. Swords have to do with the way we express our thoughts. So it has to do with our thoughts. And it has to do with our words, our way of speaking to other people or communicating. And this is also how we make decisions. Now, typically, this guy is just on a full clip. He is going towards his dreams. He is not slowing down. He's not going to stop at go. He's going to go full tilt. And you can see he's actually kind of stressing out his horse here because he has been at a full gallop for a bit. Now, as this is in your obstacles position, it would be as though you may be thinking of all these things. You're still contemplating, but you haven't taken that action yet. You haven't moved forward. It could be that you're hung up on the multiple ideas that you have. You haven't been able to sort through those ideas in terms of what direction you truly want to go. Or it could be that you are waiting to be able to have discussions with people who you might consider as a mentor for you or somebody that has more insight and information before you decide to move forward at a fast clip. Okay, Cancer, your next card has to do with the Six of Wands. This is more fire energy, but this is also my victory card. This individual is being recognized and there are accolades that are being showered upon him for the work that he has done. So it could be that some of you are going to get some kind of a promotion. Some of you are looking at potentially a bonus of some kind because you have met some criteria that will allow you to bring in more money. This could also be the card of successes, right? And championing those successes. He is on his horse. He does have people walking alongside him. He's taking his victory lap. So as this is in your strengths position, I do feel as though you are making progress. You're making very nice progress. You are persevering, and your guidance is keep going. You are doing great. Your final card is the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords to me is the card of anxiety, worry, your mind going over the same kind of despair, the same kind of anxiety. It's just that monkey brain, going over and over and over and over in your head. Now, typically this card will come up when we have a lot of things that are happening, but they might not be happening to us directly. In this situation, all of these swords, because they're sideways, represent thoughts but they're not necessarily your thoughts. You're just allowing yourself to be overcome by these thoughts. What if, what if, what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? Right? This is where you're going to need to flip your script. If you find yourself going down the rabbit hole, going down a path of darkness, know that you can turn around at any time. There is nothing that's keeping you there but yourself, right? You are in control of your thoughts. You are in control of your actions. You are in control of yourself. So there is comfort, right? There's a comforter here. There is comfort available to you. And one of the things that Spirit always shares with me is when at night, if you have all this anxiety that's coming in and is keeping you awake, Spirit says just get a small pad of paper, write down what those anxieties are, what those thoughts are, and then tell yourself, I don't want to think about these thoughts now. I've written them down. I will pick up my pad in the morning and I would really love to enjoy a good night's sleep. And I have used this I've used this tool multiple times on myself. I was guided to this when my mom had passed because it was horrific and you just are never ready for your parents to die, right? You're never ready for a parent to die. And there was a big mess left behind. And of course, I felt like it was all on my shoulders when in reality it wasn't. And that's kind of what we do to ourselves, right? When we allow our thoughts to take away our joy, when we allow our thoughts to go into an area that we might not have control over. So here's your opportunity to be able to flip the script for yourself. I know that nines are very close to completion, so it feels as though whatever this is coming to an end for you. But other than that, everything else looks really good, Cancer. So I wouldn't be too worried. And this could be that maybe you have put out multiple resumes and you're not getting any responses back. Just know that the perfect opportunity for you will make itself available. You do have success here. You do have victory here, right here next to this Nine of Swords. So I feel as though if you tell yourself that you're not going to be able to find a job, guess what? You're not going to be able to find a job. But if you say to yourself, the perfect job is coming to me. I'm going to recognize this opportunity for what it is, and I'm going to land this opportunity. See how you switch the script in your mind. And if you keep saying that to yourself, that's what you're going to bring in for yourself. Okay, so I'm bringing myself back on camera so we can pull the last couple of cards for your reading. If you've made it this far, I would absolutely love it if you would just click that like button. Thank you so much. Okay, so your first card is Wisdom. You are called to serve as a mentor for someone or as a role model and guide who can show the way. Use your wisdom and experience. So for me, I love this. This is exactly this energy of the Hermit. So it's just kind of saying it in a slightly different way than I said before, but it's saying paying attention because you do have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of information, a lot of gifts that you can share with others. You can help be a leader, not necessarily being bossy, but being a leader that leads by example, right? That leads by living your true best life. And people look at you and go, gosh, I really like the way that this person is living and I want to emulate that. Or it could be that you're just going to take some people underneath your wing and you're just going to show them how you have created the life that you've created for yourself, where they can focus their energy and you can help them evolve and help them ascend. Because I feel that we are all here to help one another. So what a beautiful gift for you, Cancer. Okay, your next card, Cancer, is a flashback. People from your past return. You may work with a previous coworker, or take back an old job. You get a second chance. Now, it's interesting. I've seen this card before. For me, I am the type of person, if I've decided that I am done with something, I typically will not turn around and go back. That does not mean, though, that if it was a situation where I had no other opportunities and this was something that resonated with me, that I wouldn't try it again. I never would close that door. I don't ever burn bridges either. So as a matter of fact, mostly all of the people that I've ever worked for, all of my bosses, I am still in contact with. Even to this day, I'm retired. And that's just the type of an individual I am, though, is that I always wanted to keep that open communication. I never knew if I was ever going to need a reference or something like that. So I just never did anything that would burn that bridge, even if it was a boss that I didn't necessarily get along that great with, but I respected their position. I respected who they were, how they got to where they were. And it's kind of like that same type of energy for you. But if this feels like this is like, let's say you walked away from a job and you realized it was your dream job and you didn't know it at the time because all you were self-absorbed in something else or whatever the case may be. Or it was a thing where you moved to a new location and then you've moved back. Like, let's say that could be a situation where you were working for something, you went off to school, you came back home and you picked up that job again, but now you've got a degree. Now you can go after a job that will pay you more money because now you are more valuable to the company that you would be working for. Okay, your next card is options, weighing the pros and cons. Now, for me, this is really important because if you're going, especially if you're going to go back to a job that you've been to. But what I'm seeing here is there is a job change for some of you. There is a move available because offers are coming in. This is also the card of justice and law. This would be the scales, right? The scales would be our, this would be our legal card. This would be the justice, right? The justice card. So it could be that you're a mediator, or it could be that you're just looking for that balance, right? Because it's got balance, mediator, law, justice. So if it is a situation where you are working in the law profession, it feels as though there's opportunities coming in for you. But at the same time, what I will say is if you are changing jobs and you work for a company that requires that you do a non-disclosure agreement, I worked in the biotech, so whenever you would change jobs, they would definitely make you sign a non-disclosure so that you were not taking any of the company's secrets to wherever it is that you were going. This is especially the case when you work higher up within an organization, right? But a lot of times these companies will have everyone sign a non-disclosure or some kind of an agreement along those lines. But that may be an area that this is speaking to for some of you. Your last card is the magic mirror. So this is your public persona. You are the product. Yeah, I guess so. Sales, social media speaker and leader. So maybe you would start a YouTube channel, just like this channel. Maybe you would start something along the lines of the things that are interesting to you. Maybe it's not tarot. Maybe you're into astrology, or maybe you are into teaching children or something, or maybe you're just going to be sharing your wisdom with others online. That would be a way to be able to start a channel for yourself. But again, this has to do with your public persona. So when I say this card, typically what this means, it doesn't mean that you're going to be famous like a person would be like in Hollywood where, they become a star or whatever it is. But it could be that you are the star in the company that you work for. Maybe you come up with something that really helps this company grow exponentially, or you come up with an idea and your employer decides to run with that idea and it becomes quite lucrative for them. This would be one of those situations where then you would be recognized and you would be taking your victory lap. So I feel as though these two cards really kind of speak to one another. So it's something along those lines where you're going to get some kind of accolade, or you're going to get some kind of recognition for something that you've done or something that you are going to do within the next 4 weeks that will lead to additional money or lead to a bonus or something along those lines for you. Okay, Cancer, this looks really good. I don't see anything here that is really distressing. The only thing I see is the monkey brain. So again, that is just flip your thinking, change the way that you're speaking to yourself, use more positive affirmations, change the way that your mind may be speaking to yourself, because a lot of times we tear ourselves down instead of building ourselves up. And speaking from experience, since I've been doing this for 40 years now, I know, because I've said all those things to myself as well. And the funny thing is when you're tearing yourself down, it brings you down, it makes you feel badly about yourself. And then you don't feel as if you can ever get the help or the success that you want. So it isn't until you start changing that language for yourself that you can really make a difference. So I hope this has helped you in some way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have great success in your career, or in your resume, in your interviewing process if you are looking for a new job. Overall, everything here looks good, and it looks like things are going to be moving along just great for you. Take care of you, Cancer. Cheers.